Hello, my dear fellow travelers, friends, and photographers around the world. Welcome to Chris Lee Travel Channel. Today, I'll be sharing with you my second episode of my travel journey to the South Islands of New Zealand. Now, New Zealand is an island nation situated right south at the southern hemisphere, and it have two large islands, namely the North Island and the South Islands. And our focus for this episode and the coming episode will be mainly on the South Islands of New Zealand. And South Islands is a very interesting place, and it does invite photographers as well as adventurers to explore some of the world's most pristine natural landscapes. Now, from the snow-capped mountains to the majestic coast, right, come along as we virtually visit some of the best destinations on this South Island. Now, images in these episodes were taken in the year 2014 during the month of April, which is actually in autumn season. And to begin with, for today, we will then visit a very famous town named Queenstown. Now, Queenstown in Maori language is Tahuna, is one of the New Zealand's most exciting destination in Otago in the southwest of New Zealand. And a tour of Lake Wakatipu, right? How could you miss this beautiful resort town? Right? The town is surrounded by towering mountains, such as the remarkable Cecil Peaks, the Water Peaks, and also just above the town is the Ben Lomond and the Queenstown Hill. Now, the town is positioned right on the edge of a lake around an inlet called the Queenstown Bays, right, on the lake of Wakatipu. Now, neighboring town including the Arrowtown, which we have just shared with you in my first episodes, then the Glenorchy at the north, Kingston at the south, Wanaka, Alexandra, and Cromwells, which is further away. Now, Queenstown is well known for the commercial-oriented tourism, right? Especially the adventure and ski tourism. Hence, Queenstown is a major center for snow sport in New Zealand, with people from all over the country and also many parts of the world travel to Queenstown just for the skate activity. And as promised by the New Zealand Tourism Board, now Queenstown is a popular holiday spot, right? And at any time of the year, it is renowned for its four distinct seasons. As for winter, they bring crisp, blue sky days. For the spring, retain the snow, but right blooms into longer, warmer days, and summer offer sunshine and long twilight, and autumn a burst of brilliant red and gold. So our trip today to Queenstown will include the ascending to the mid-hills of the Mount Remarkable. Now, Remarkable in Maori's language is known as Kawarau, and the mountain located on the southeastern shore of Lake Wakatipu. Right? So We'll go on to the image proper, and later on I will share with you more on the images taken at the middle of this Mount Remarkable. So this is the New Zealand maps showing the two largest islands, the North Island and the South Islands. And being an island nation at the far south of the Earth, or the groups you can call it, access only by way of air, and therefore for Malaysians, you could only arrive at New Zealand from Kuala Lumpur. That is through transit in Australia and landed in Auckland. Although there are many smaller airports, but the international airport in New Zealand is somehow fairly limited. And our journey starting from today until the next 3 episodes altogether, there are 4 episodes starting from today, will cover the places that I visit as shown in this map. All in all, there are actually 10 stopover. Started with Christchurch as the airport where the international airport is located, and all the way to the number N, the Punakaki, before we back to Christchurch and fly home to Malaysia. So for the start, let's look at the images of Wakatipu Lakes. So Wakatipu Lakes, of course, is the location where Queenstown is placed, next at the middle section of the Wakatipu Lakes. And in terms of distance of Queenstown, now one thing for sure, that because for Malaysian, if you want to reach Queenstown, the only way is you have to fly all the way to Christchurch and now to Auckland. And from there, probably you take an internal domestic flight all the way to Queenstown. But of course, if your visit is still confined to Queenstown, that is fine. But other than that, probably you will fly to Christchurch and to start the journey of your tour to these South Islands. And this is the exact location of Queenstown, and you can see that it's right at the middle of this lake Wakatipu. And at the northmost, there's still another small town called Greenwich. And of course, at the southern tip of the lake is the Kingston. So our visit for today will confine to the Queenstown at the middle of this lake Wanatipu, as well as the northern tips of the lakes where the Greenwich is located. So this is actually the image taken right at the Queenstown, near to the beach area, and you can always see that the beautiful waterfronts of Queenstown. And this image shows that some of this small little store, and these are all the very beautiful and nice food store selling fish and chip, and some of them even selling fresh oyster. And I can tell you that my meal of the fresh oyster in this part of the town is just marvelous. I believe that we have actually bought quite a number of plates and fully consumed, and it's a lovely meal to have in Queenstown. And we also take a stroll on the beach and enjoying our view for about half an hour to an hour. Then after that, we will have a walk in the Queenstown town center. And around the Lake Wakatipu, alright? And Lake Wakatipu is an inland lake and is popularly referred as a finger lake due to its long, thin, Z-shaped lakes. It's in the southwest corner of Otago region, just for some of you who wish to know, near its boundary with South Land in the South Island of New Zealand. Now, Lake Wakatipu comes from the original Maori name Wakatipu Waimori, which could mean growing bay or bay of spirit. Now, depending on the translation of the historic southern dialects. Now, this lake with a length of about 80 kilometers or approximately 50 miles, it is New Zealand's longest and third largest lake, right? And with an area of 291 square kilometers in area, and the lake is also very deep. Now, its floor being 19 meters below sea level. That means at the bottom, the deeper part itself is even lower than the sea level by 19 meters. Now, with a maximum depth of 380 meters, which translates to 1,250 feet, it is at an altitude of the lake, at an altitude of 310 meters above sea level. Now, the settlements around the lake's shore include Queenstown and the village of Kingston at the south, Greenock at the north, and also Kinlochs, another town as well. Now, the Duck and Ree River, which flow into the northern end of the Lake Wakatipu, the Kawarau River, which beginning near the Queenstown, handle its outflow. Now, this is actually a body of water in the middle of the famous adventure town, Queenstown, and freezing a town like this, Lake Wakatipu, is well photographed and frequently visited, right, with a number of water and boating activity available for traveler and his visitor. So now this is the image taken just around of Lake Wakatipu, and you can see that it's very scenic. Now, Lake Wakatipu is renowned for its scenic beauty and is surrounded by mountains. Now, two mountain ranges, namely the remarkable and the Tapo'oyunuku, or they call it Hector Mountains, right, lie along the southeastern edge. Right, it is actually a popular venue for adventure tourism, which also with quite a number of ski fields, and also for paragliding, bungee jumping, and also lastly a tramping track between Easy Ridge from the Queenstown. Now, in summer, the lake's beaches are popular for swimming. As far as New Zealand lake goes, Lake Wakatipu is one that you can't miss. So, cruising across the Lake Wakatipu on the restored vintage steamboats is a blissful way to appreciate the magnificent alpine scenery. And this TSS Escrow cruise the lakes every day. So, but remember, you need to book your tickets for the cruise during the peak season. So these are more view of the scenic view of this Lake Wakatipu, and you can see that you can find many New Zealanders were in the early morning were having their biking around the lake's shore, or having a jogging around. And for us, of course, we enjoy photography in the morning in this Lake Wakatipu. Then we have a drive to a next destination for our photography. Along the way, the image is taken just not far from the Queenstown city center. So we come across to a bridge, right, that cross over the river which connect to the Queenstown Bay, as shown in this map. And this is actually the bridge that we are on to capture the subsequent images that I'm going to share with you. So on both sides of the bridge, you can see beautiful scenery, particularly during this autumn season. The leaves of the tree have all turned to yellowish and golden colors scattered around the regions. And at the far end, what you see in this image is the remarkable mountain range. The scenery here is breathtaking, and I believe that if you are a photographer like me, you definitely would like to spend more time over here to capture this beautiful morning scene. This autumn season, in fact, is one of the perfect time to visit Queenstown. The scenic view of the surrounding is the plus point. On top of that, the cool weather, it will not make your journey tiring. So please ensure that you have bring enough memory card, and also your battery is fully charged or having spare battery if you come to this part of the country during the autumn, because I have taken I think not less than 5,000 images during the trip to New Zealand. Here now I bring you to these remarkable mountains, and you expect to see some very fascinating and awesome images around Queenstown regions. The location, the spot where we capture the images that I will share with you subsequently, I have shown in this map. You can see this is a leading road leading to the remarkable mountain ski resort. As it's still not a winter season, and so the resort is not open for skiing yet, but we are actually almost reaching near to the ski resort base, and most near as far as we can to the highest point to capture the image around the Queenstown region. We arrived there in the morning and trying to catch the morning sun, and the weather is very chilling in the early morning and also very windy, and of course that is a challenge for us in those who intend to take still images like us at the so-called low light conditions. That I think tripod is definitely needed and is unavoidable. So these are the images captured right in the early hours of the morning. So the far end is the lake Wakatipu. And you can see these small towns, the townships, along the shore of this lake Wakatipu. In fact, if we have more time, I would still prefer to be in this part of the town, particularly at this Mount Remarkable, and to enjoy the scenery view. And you can see from all these images, although it's taken is around, I think it's about 10 a.m. in the morning. By then, where you have sufficient lighting, the images turning very vivid and beautiful. Isn't this autumn scene wonderful? In, Indeed, every image is taken, irrespective at what angle or what corner you are expect to produce picture squad images. Even though you are beginner, you are new to photography, I believe that the scenery that around this area will not fail you. It's a very interesting and very beautiful scenery at this mid hill of this Mount Remarkable. And this is the spot that we capture the images that I just shared with you. And then we start to move north from this Lake Wakatipu. We drive north to the next town known as Grenoble. Now, a bit background of Grenoble. Now, Grenoble is just about 45 minutes of drive from Queenstown and is nested on the northern shore of Lake Wakatipu and is the gateway to the hiking trail and Middle Earth's magic. This is how they call it. Now, the drive from the Queenstown to Grenoble is being regarded as one of the New Zealand's most scenic drive. Now, the route to Grenoble curves through forests, past mountain lakes, and parallel to cliff edge along its 28.5 mile length or approximately 40 kilometer length of drive journey. Now, this rustic town, Grenoble, is a true outdoor enthusiast's paradise, set against a background of native beech forest and a towering mountain range. And Grenoble surrounding are nothing, right? Nothing short of awe-inspiring. And as far as concerned, the Lake Wakatipu and the Dark River offer opportunity, right, for jet boating and also kayakings. And some of the New Zealand best hiking trail can be accessed from here, from Grenoble. And also the horse trekkings in the area is also highly recommended and popular among tourists. So thus, Grenoble is reputed as one of the best outdoor enthusiast paradise in New Zealand, and you can have plenty of things to do, right, in Grenoble, from walking trails, horse ridings, fishing, to finding those perfect photography spots. Of course, for us, we are more interested in finding the perfect photography spot. So image I'm going to share with you now are taken at the Grenoble, right next to the Lake Wakatipu. So the location of Grenoble as shown in these maps, you can see almost at the northern tips of Great Lake Wakatipu. And this is actually a zoom-in view regional map of Grenoble. And you look at the area that I've circled in red, and at the top of the circle, at the top of this, the topmost section of these maps, between the circle area, there's a place called Paradise. And indeed, nobody know why the name is given, but I will share with you photographs taken in these regions, and you'll be surprised that is another photographer paradise or heavens to landscape photographer. This is our tour mates. Some of them are excellent photographers, which I had to thank the gentlemen, the the fourth from the right side, Mr. Go, KL Go. He's the organizer for this trip. I have to thank him for the wonderful trip that he have organized for me to these South Islands. So right at the Greenwich town center, and there is actually a jetty point. So here are all the images taken while at this jetty point of Greenwich. And then from the town center of this Greenwich, we're moving north. As I mentioned to you, we are going to a region that named as Paradise. Now, the Greenwich's particular landscape have become a prime location for frame sculpt depicting many scenes from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, as well as the featuring in the Narnia movie. So in other words, you can find a lot of movies have captured using Greenwich as the venue. Now, 20 km away from the Greenwich as a bucolic farmland give way to a beech forest that lie the Paradise, which I just mentioned to you. From Greenwich, move north, you are going to come to lands they name Paradise. A given nicknames, nobody can say for sure how we got its name, but one thing people agree on is its breathtaking beauty. Let's take a look of the images taken around this Paradise. And in Paradise, you also can find quite a number of ranch, like for example, this cattle ranch, horse ranch. The surrounding mountains in this part of the world, and with the beautiful nature landscapes, indeed, for photographers, you will regret that if you do not bring enough memory and have enough backup battery. There's a saying that when you come to New Zealand, for every human being in New Zealand, there will be 10 animals. So if New Zealand you have 3 million populations, then you expect the animals, be horse, be sheep or cattle, they will add up to come to 30 millions. So therefore, it is not surprised to come across many ranches scattered around in New Zealand, particularly in the South Islands. And before I end my journey to this Queenstown, and also Greenwich, I would like to share with you some of the favorites photo taken. I used to call it a trip photo abstract, and taken at this part of the journey, and to share with you. Here come to the end of my this second episode, and I have to thank you for staying until this hour with me. Now, if you have not been subscribed, please do so, and also help to share to your friend and family, so they can be like you, travel virtually around the world at the comfort of their homes. And in the coming episodes, I will share with you some of the beautiful lakes of New Zealand. Of course, these lakes are located at the South Islands. So please stay tuned for the coming episode number 3 of my travel journey to New Zealand South Islands. And I thank you again, and please stay safe and stay strong. Hope to see you again in the coming episode, and bye.